Greetings, my human friends. This is Rudolf of Germany, the tall white alien on the 1st of January 2018, the perfect day to give you some insight into existence and the origins of this universe in very simple terms. So, if you listen attentively, you may get an all-around picture, and if you keep it in mind in the future, many things which come your way will be of no surprise to you because you know why and what happened in order to get where you are. Many times before I've been speaking about sound waves and the influence it has on the magnetic field on planet Earth and all the dimensions where creatures live in the universe. And depending on the sound wave of the frequencies and who and with what action behind it, with what intent and will it is uttered, there the journey will lead you. So, the whole creation of what you call the world depends on the will, the intent of a conscious mind. Wanting to live, wanting to experience a range, a field of the senses in sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. That is the beginning of the universe as such. Without a conscious being able to utter a sound of will, being a creator, there would be no worlds, no universes, and no dimensions at all. It all depends on the will of a conscious being to utter a sound. And this sound is deeply, deeply embedded in the subconscious of every creature which emits these sound waves. In some instances, so silent, they are only uttered in the mind itself, silently, and in some cases, they are being screamed and yelled out, as you can hear it when people get very excited. So, after the will, there comes the sound wave, the uttered sound by a living creature, which will then be intermingled, interfered with the magnetic field around, for example, in this case, planet Earth. And when sound waves of a certain frequency are being introduced to the magnetic field of any planet, but in this case of planet Earth, there you see that a creation of form takes place. Form has two ingredients: the uttering of sound waves and the reaction of the magnetic field to it. And there you are creating forms, matter. And this matter created is the basis of life. This is the mental framework of the world, being created by each single one of you. But that alone does not make for life, for the enjoyment, for feelings, and so on. For that, there has to be one more ingredient, and that is emotions. Emotional energy, which is the result of this creation of uttering sound, magnetism, and matter which came out of it, which is the framework. Without emotions, all of this would be not necessary. And these emotions making your life complete. See, we the tall white aliens do not have emotions. We the tall white aliens are the creators of the macrocosmos, the platform. All of you in your microcosms build your worlds. But we cannot do it without that what you possess and we so desperately need, which is emotions. Emotional energy, may it be love, happiness, pain, suffering, or sadness. As long as these emotions are very intense and strong, we can use them, we can divulge them in order to enjoy our own existence, which would be not possible without your input of spending us your emotions. Only then, when we can take emotions in which you are spending, we can live. We can also feel something like an emotional make-up, an emotional life on our own. And this we need, of course, in our world, this juice, this lifeblood we need in our world to sustain and in turn create a macrocosm where you are able to build your own emotional world in. See, this is the circle. You feed us your emotions. We need it to be alive and have our own world to live in. And the process of it is our own creativity, which creates the microcosm, the necessity for you to build your own worlds again through the uttering of sound waves. Some of you belonging to secret circles, there are very few of you who have the deepest knowledge and are part of inner circles, of secret societies, and some single humans as well understand that process and try to get, because of that knowledge, special privileges. These ones are offering to us, the tall white aliens, not only emotions on a regular basis like every single one of you does. Every single person of you has some emotions to give, some more, some less, depending on the day and time. No, these knowledgeable people, they know that they can bribe some of us, the tall white aliens, and offer them a enormous amount, a huge impact of emotions, a jolt of emotions in a short period of time. And for that, they expect special favors. They expect that because they've given us such enormous amount of emotions in a short time, which we need like emotional junkies, for that deliverance, they expect special favors or payment. You can imagine what these payments are. Power, money, superior health, and longevity. That is what usually these insiders of these dark circles of black magic, of secret cults ask for themselves in their utmost selfishness, disregarding the health and well-being of other creatures. There comes in sacrifices of animals, sacrifices of humans, and in some cases, sacrifices and torture of children. Because through these sacrifices and the pain and suffering of these creatures being sacrificed, enormous amounts of emotional energy is being released. And the practitioner who is creating these and inflicting this pain in these creatures ask then, because of this special gift of enormous amounts of intense emotions, for some kind of payment. The darker side of us, the tall white aliens, because we have also creatures which are completely different in their spiritual makeup. The darker ones, the darker forces of the tall white aliens are gladly taking in special intense emotions to enjoy, to live a more intense existence as a tall white. For that then they manipulate the dimensions where humans live in, particularly the ones who give them the human sacrifices and animal sacrifices, manipulate these dimensions, these creatures who deliver all these intense emotions to them in order to give them that what they ask for. They're creating atmospheres, they're creating situations where these peoples live in, where it makes it much easier for them to gain power, and through power, of course, gain money, and through money, of course, gain all the goodies these people want. These people are called your elites. And certainly not every single one, for example, a superior mind and a person who works hard for decades for the good of society, not all of them, of course, are using sacrifices to get where they are. But there is a group of, let's say, morally deprived creatures who want to have all the money and power in the world without having the necessary talents. And these people are usually politicians, militaries, and others who want to have a good chunk of the cake of richness of this planet without even being entitled to. See, this is what in the old days was called selling your soul to the devil. And the devil there is, in form of tall white aliens who went the wrong way, who became emotion take-in junkies, because the most powerful emotions of suffering of other beings, and this is for them the utmost joy. These are, you can well call them devils, and the ones who are devils worshippers are the ones who make certain sacrifices in certain ceremonies which go along with secret codes and secret utterings of sound waves by spells and certain songs sung. These people who know what they have to say and ask for while they're doing these sacrifices are the lowest form of humans on earth. But now you understand what is going on. Every single one of you is giving his emotions, and we give them back the worlds to live in. But some of you are not satisfied with the average life, who want to have more power and more joy and more money. And these are going the just described way. Rudolf of Germany.